Welcome to De-Stressing and Laughing Your Way Through These Unprecedented Times with Lou and Tom DiGrazia. My name is Jose Barzola from the Matsunaga Institute for Peace at the University of Hawaii at Manoa. I want to take a brief moment to recognize the sponsors of the event, the Center for Alternative Dispute Resolution at the Hawaii State Judiciary, the Conflict Resolution Alliance, the Mediation Center of the Pacific, and the Hawaii State Bar Association Alternative Dispute Resolution section. For today's event, we will be muting the audio of all participants, but the chat option will be available as we encourage dialogue. Please use the chat option for any questions that come up. Feel free to post them there or send them to me privately. My name is Jose again. We will field as many questions as we can at the end, and Tom will address the rest via follow-up email. I want to thank you all in attendance for joining us today as we learn about how mediation meets meditation by learning how yoga exercises that can be done from the comfort of your remote workplace in order to de-stress. Definitely no prior experience is necessary. With this in mind though, please turn and keep video on. The benefits of team exercises are infectious and supportive. Also, Tom would like to make sure you are doing exercises properly and will give tips without identifying anybody specifically. I do want to refer to some key points in the preparation document that was sent earlier in the emails. Please use common sense when doing these exercises so that your participation in the seminar does not result in any injury or stressful experience. The less limber in particular should take it easy, especially physical exercises or yoga poses are new to you. Remember that less is often best when you are a beginner. Tom will emphasize helpful exercise modifications throughout our entire time together. If you have any current physical injuries or concerns and did not consult a medical advisor, I suggest you observe and take notes for now and practice after you get the appropriate medical advice. Today's event will be recorded, so you are going to be provided a recording of this later, so you can always, review and strengthen those exercises later on as time goes on. Disclaimer though, I do want to provide all participants agree to hold harmless from liability or injury all sponsors. These sponsors include the Hawaii State Judiciary and its Center for Alternative Dispute Resolution, the University of Hawaii Matsunaga Institute for Peace, the Conflict Resolution Alliance, the Mediation Center of the Pacific, the Hawaii State Bar Association, Tom DiGrazia, and Lou DiGrazia, and any and all agents of the sponsors. Well, we want to start today's event by introducing one of our sponsors, Ann Smoke from the Center for Alternative Dispute Resolution. As soon as we get her unmuted, is she?
There we go. Aloha, everybody. Hello. Welcome, and thanks, Jose. So the Hawaii State Judiciary Center for Alternative Dispute Resolution echoes the appreciation that was just extended by Jose to our partners in the ADAR community. We appreciate your support of the seminar. And Jose, we want to especially thank you and the Matsunaga Institute at the University of Hawaii for making it possible by graciously hosting this meeting. So thank you for that. As a young adult and a cross-country runner, I was groomed with a no pain, no gain approach to exercise. But now armed with experience and wisdom, it's obvious how backwards it is to be motivated by pain. So when Tom sent me his preparation material, that I hope you all read, with his motto, "If it ain't fun, better left undone," I found a mantra that does work. And Tom's credentials give even more credence to his mantra. If anybody can show us proper and effective techniques, it's Mr. DiGrazia and his wife Lou. He speaks from his own experience with self-preservation as an attorney, mediator, and arbitrator. Tom's been a professional peacemaker for 50 years and has studied practice and taught his yoga since 1975. Tom's a registered 500-hour E-RYT, which stands for Experienced Registered Yoga Teacher. And the Yoga Alliance takes that very seriously. Tom teaches private classes with Lou right here on Oahu at the YSK Yoga Studio in Kailua. And a little bit about Lou, I just want to share a congratulations to Lou, the SIVAS, which stands for service. It's part of the Yoga Alliance, I believe. Tom, you'll have to maybe clarify that, but she just won. She's #2 in the world for her work with the Hawai'i Yoga Prison Project. So I think lucky us to have her here. Thank you. So with that, let's all extend both of them a warm Zoom welcome. We need you to unmute, Tom. There you go.
How's that? Terrific. Okay. So one clarification before we get, it's the Seaver Award for Lou. I'm so proud of this woman who's been doing this work inside Hawaii's prison since 1992, if you can believe it. It's the International Alliance of Yoga Therapists that she's a member in good standing of. So that's who gave Lou the award. Anyway, let me start with one of the symbols of yoga, and it's become so commercialized on TV. You see it in advertisements and what have you, and it's this one here, Namaste, okay, where the thumbs come over each other, the palms come together, the fingers are facing upward, you bring the palm heels to your sternum, you elevate the natural curve of your spine, and you breathe in. Now, how many people, those of you who are watching, I don't know, how many do we have right now, 30 something, know what that term actually means from the Sanskrit language, which is one of the two primary languages from which all other languages spring from. Namaste. It literally means that the human being in my heart recognizes the human being in your heart, and therefore we're connected. What better symbol, if you're using it with that in mind, for these times, especially in light of what's been happening with George Floyd and having that metaphoric and physical knee on the throats of the oppressed people in this country and around the world, I might add. So namaste to all of you, once again, from all of us here at the Yoga School of Kailua. I want to begin with 30 seconds of silence for what has transpired. You know, this is a time in our country where breathing was never more important. Being able to slow ourselves down, the COVID virus has helped to do that. But we need to do more. We need to carry the ability to calm ourselves, to calm those cortisol spikes, as we say in this peacemaking trade, that bring people to violent discussions and conflictual environments. We need to take a time back and take a really deep yogic breath, which we're going to talk about in a minute, and observe what's going on. And really, really don't just hear what is going on in our culture and in the world right now and what has just transpired in Minneapolis, but listen. Listen with that deepness that's implied in that symbol of yoga, namaste. So if you will, please, let's take 30 seconds. I have a clock right in front of me here so I can time this exactly, starting right now. Close your eyes. Visualize a more peaceful world. In order to find peace out there, we need to have peace within ourselves. We have to find it first within ourselves. The expression in nonviolent communication is peace within, peace without. Find that peace right now. Okay, very good. I just have a very, very one-sentence quote, and then we're going to get into the heart of the project. This comes from Offerings, Buddhist Wisdom for Every Day. And on June 5th, which also, by the way, is another kind of sad day in a sense, which we're going to hope to erase in this class somewhat, is the 52nd anniversary of the assassination of Robert F. Kennedy. And those of you who were born and raised and matured during that period of time in 1968, this is a very important time. And I'd like to remember Robert as well. The Buddhists have a saying here. They say, and see if this resonates with what's going on. Things falling apart is a kind of testing and also a kind of healing. So let's heal together, and let's start that healing with this class. So one of the subtitles that I played with for this class was self-care for peacemakers and builders. All too often, those of us who are in the thick of conflict between what I often refer to as the conflicted, we're not taking care of ourselves. We're not looking to our own health and well-being. And when we're impaired, those who are attempting to assist and to help, we're not being as effective with these folks as we can be. So part of what we're learning today and exploring, and some of you who have a background in yoga, this is going to be repetitive, and that's good. It's good to be reminded of the basic roots of yoga, asana, and pranayama practice. And for those who are new, I hope you learned something from it. So one of the things that we seek to cultivate in asana and pranayama practice, and let me define that term if you don't remember how it was defined in the writing. Asana is one of the definitions for it is position comfortably held. It's a literal translation from the Sanskrit language once again. It's kind of what Anne opened with. If it ain't fun, better left undone, would be another way of expressing it. So if, when you're doing a yoga, an asana exercise, what we call asana, if you're doing it, if you're, for instance, in a twist, and your face is all contorted, like, because there's no pain, no gain, no pain, whatever the hell that expression is that comes from football, that's not a position comfortably held. Who the hell would want to do that on a daily basis? And what good would that do in terms of de-stressing? Maybe you might become slightly more flexible. Good for you. But what about the stress part of that? What about bringing oxytocin into your chemical balance? What if you're in, as I've faced over the last 50 years, in divorce cases, for instance, which is one area where I've spent a lot of time as a mediator and peacemaker. What about you're sitting down with arguably the most distressing thing, certainly in the lives of the mediation participants that you're dealing with. Next to the death of a child, okay, a divorce is number 2 on the list of the most stressful things in life that you face. And you're walking into that. What kind of shape are you in? What kind of vibe are you putting out? So you have to learn to take care of yourself. And many of you are doing these things already, so please, once again, forgive me for the repetition. But I was asked by Anne and Jose to just explain some of the things and share some of the things that myself and Lou have done over the years to help us distress in stressful situations. Number 1, creating an environment. Whether you're in an office setting, whether you're doing Zoom, whether you're working out of your home or wherever, creating an environment that, number 1, you're comfortable with, and also that helps to make the participants to your mediation, to your peacemaking efforts, no matter what the forum is, more comfortable is extremely important, okay? Get away from sterility. Put nature around. You'll hear some wind chimes in the background. Can you put the music up a little bit? We use music here. We have music playing today called East of the Full Moon. I hope you can see this, by an artist by the name of Duotter. We use this both in our yoga classes and in our mediation sessions. Can you hear that? Can you hear that? Because I'm going to lower it in a minute. Can you hear that music? Anything that helps you, thank you, Lou. Anything that helps you to relax, release, hang loose, and helps to de-stress. Can you lower that? and helps to distress the people that you're working with. Very important. I use scents, okay, both on myself. I'm gonna give myself a little spray here so I don't stress out. And also, and again, it depends on who you're working with. Not everybody wants to be sprayed with rose petals or lavender or what have you. But these are known, these are science-based scents that, again, help the body to relax and produce serotonin and oxytocin and what they call the feel-good hormones in the body. Again, nature, plants, blue sky, windows open, all of these things can be extremely helpful to set the stage for peacemaking. Another thing that even these very simple yoga, asana and pranayama, I didn't define pranayama. Pranayama literally means life extension. And we do that through our breath. We do that by moving energy. It goes by different names: chi, ki, mana, different energies and different expressions and words in different languages, but it's all the same. We develop through our breath the ability to move energy, both within ourselves and with those who we're working with. So if you want to lower your respiratory rate, if you want to balance your heart rate variability, which I talked about in one of the handouts, if you want to release these hormones that help us to slow down, and you have to set the example as a peacemaker with others. Now again, depending on who you're working with, you got to make a judgment call here. If you approach some people, especially when they're under a high degree of stress, whether it's a divorce or a business arrangement that's falling apart, or dealing with Mauna Kea and the issues that are evolving there, or vaccinations, pro and con, whatever that is, you need, as a peacemaker, okay, to experiment if you can. Like I said, it's not for everybody, but I find that in our practice, at least 50% of the mediation participants that we work with, and remember, we're working privately, so I realize that there are going to be differences with public mediation services, like the Mediation Center of the Pacific, may not have that ability, but think about it. If you can get people to start breathing before you start a session and lower their respiratory rate, lower their heart rate variability rate, get them to produce oxytocin, introduce oxytocin into the room, you're going to find, in general, that things are going to go a lot easier. At least it's going to take the edge off a lot of the emotions that we as peacemakers are faced with. The word that we yogis use and that scientists use for that ability, not only in others, but particularly, once again, to go back in self-care for ourselves as peacemakers and peace builders, is interoception. I defined it, I talked about it, but very loosely speaking, it's the ability to look within yourself, look within the body-mind, because the body and the mind, as you know, are intimately connected. There's no separation between the two of them. But to be able to go in and see where you're holding stress. Is it in your neck? Is it in your fingers? Maybe you've been on a computer too long. Where is it? All right. Is it in your low back? And have the ability to immediately address it in the situation that you're in, whether you're in front of your computer or wherever you are, to be able to alleviate it within seconds. So the ability to identify where that stress is, where that lack of ease is in your body-mind, extremely important, okay? And that's what we yogis seek to develop. What else we got here on the list? Oh, you gotta mention the two nervous systems. Well, we really have one nervous system, but it has two components. One is automatic, which is the sympathetic nervous system. And one is volitionary, controlled, okay, the parasympathetic nervous system. Now the automatic one, okay, is the fight, flight, freeze that we have embedded in our DNA from the earliest time of human beings being on this planet and evolving. That's the, you hear that metaphor all the time. You're walking through the jungle, all of a sudden there's a 20-foot tiger in front of you. There's no thinking here. You're about to fall off a cliff. You're not going to step back and philosophize about how you're going to handle that situation. No, the body-mind is going to take over and automatically choose one of those defenses. Either you're going to get the hell out of there, climb a tree or do whatever you got to do, or you're going to freeze. You see lizards and a lot of animals who are less developed than we are doing that, and you can do it, and we might do it ourselves, which is doing nothing and just hoping that it's going to go away at some point if you're quiet enough. Or in a worst case scenario, you're going to fight. You're going to pick up a weapon if you're not already carrying one. Okay, that comes from the limbic brain, the old brain back here in the back of the head. All right, we humans have developed this prefrontal cortex, this part of the brain up front, which is our intellectual, our ability to control our cognate senses. And again, by learning how to breathe properly and carefully and slowly, and really observing your inhalations and your exhalations, you can not only produce appropriate chemicals that will help get you away from that automatic fight, flight, freeze, okay, and put you into a more open situation where perhaps you're more open to listening. And that's what we want to encourage among our conflicted that we work with. And by encouraging that, we're taking care of ourselves because we're going to be operating in a less conflicted world. All of this, the body-mind is recording all of this, all of these interactions that we're having with people who are in conflict. We're paying a price for it. And we have to be able to cleanse ourselves and protect ourselves as peacemakers. I dare say that the times we're living in now is the time of the peacemaker. It's the time of the peace builder. So we have to be in shape. We have to be in the best condition that we can be so that we can serve and maybe sometime in the future get a SIVA award like my beautiful wife has received. So what else can we talk about? One final thing about stress, and I see my time is for this oral part of the presentation is ending. But if we want to extend our life, scientists have recently found that our DNA cells, okay, have what's called telomeres. Perhaps you've read about these. And these are what extends our life. If you have long telomeres that you've inherited in your DNA, you're going to live longer absent an accident, absent contracting the COVID virus or some other external factor. But all things being equal, you're going to live longer than those of us who perhaps don't have telomeres that are as long. We now have science that tells us that the practice of asana and pranayama, it doesn't make them longer, but it extends their lifespan so that they're not shortening as we age chronologically. Stress is not only the body killer, okay, in terms of producing inflammation in the body that produces the cancers and all the other kinds of diseases that we modern people face, okay, but it's also the mind killer. It impairs our creativity. It impairs our ability in a conflicted situation where we're attempting to facilitate a difficult conversation, whether it's with 2 people or whether it's with 100 people. It impairs that ability to be creative in the moment, to be open to new ideas. So I hope I've made, at least partially, we can go on with this indefinitely, but all of this is science-based now. When Lou and I started as yogis in the early 19 and mid-1970s, this was all anecdotal, okay? Now the science is there. Just go on, just Google yoga and telomeres, or yoga and oxytocin, or any of the things that I've talked about here and that was sent to you in writing, and see it for yourself. Read the studies. It's amazing. It's just amazing. Okay. The other thing, one final thing, that the ability to slow ourselves down is that we're able to do probably what I think, if I had to point to the single most important strength that we have as peacemakers and peace builders, is our ability to listen deeply, to really, really listen, not just hear with the physical ear, but to listen and to go into that namaste area in our heart where we can relate to the human being, that's the human beings that are suffering and that we're working with. It slows our mind down. That's constant spinning in the mind that we have that goes on 24/7, even when we're sleeping. You get some respite from that. And it's simply done through your breath. What's more important than your breath? I've watched as a father and a grandfather, my children and grandchildren being born, and watched that first inhalation that's taken. And I've had my mother die in my arms, and I had my neighbor across the street take his last breath, the last exhalation. And one of the things on a philosophical level that we yogis contemplate is how graceful are we going to be when we take that last exhalation? Are we going to be able to detach to whatever lies ahead, which could be nothing or something or some other universe? We don't know. We're going to be able to do that gracefully. All right. So first thing I want to do before we get into the actual exercises is just to go over the breathing. I want you, if you would please, to take the palm of your hand, right or left, it doesn't matter, and put it on your belly. Now the breathing that we do in pranayama and in our asana exercises is in and out through the nose. The inhalation is very important because it fills the lower third of our lungs up with oxygen, okay, with prana, with energy. But perhaps even more important is the exhalation. If you can make your exhalations longer, that's what's massaging your vagus nerve. That's one of the largest nerves in the body. And breathing, the diaphragmatic breathing, which is another word for yogic breathing, massages that nerve, which produces the oxytocin and the serotonin and all those feel-good things that help us to slow down and feel better about ourselves. So put your hand there, and I want you to just relax. If you're sitting in a chair, move away from the back of the chair and let your spine, your spinae erecti muscles on either side of the spine help to elevate the two natural curves. I'm not talking about this. You're not at West Point. We're not saluting Colonel so-and-so. I'm just talking about rising up from the sternum. Now with that hand down, as you breathe in, focus in your mind's eye. Remember that asana exercises are not jumping jacks that we did in the gym when we were growing up as kids, at least I did in high school, okay? It's a mind-body cooperation. So in your mind's eye, you're drawing the breath in through your nostrils and then down into first the lower third of the lungs. And you know that the breath is reaching down there if your hand is slightly coming up. So try that. So inhale. Hold the breath for a couple, 3 seconds. And now exhale and see if that balloon in the lower third of your lungs is collapsing somewhat. Now let's try that a few times on your own. Inhale. Exhale. Establish your own rhythm. Everybody's rhythm is going to be a little different. And all right, I want to introduce one more safety aspect. Now, we have what's called tension and compression in asana, or the physical poses that we're going to be doing, okay? Tension is where you're stretching, and if you're following the mantra adopted by Ann here, if it doesn't feel good, then better left undone. You're stretching the ligaments, you're stretching the muscles, you're releasing the stress that's being held in those parts of the body. That's tension. The reverse of that is where you have your bones colliding, okay, which is compression, okay. That's when and the first thing is that you begin to, all the muscles in the face begin to contract, your lips begin to contract, the mandibular jawbone is in a flex position. That's compression. You don't want that. That's not a position comfortably held. Remember, asana is steady and easy. It's not hard and difficult, okay? And nobody here is asking you to wrap your legs around your head or your arms under your torso someplace, okay? Especially if you're in my age category. I long ago gave that up, right? That's ego, that's competition. That's the old no pain, no gain approach. We don't want that, all right? We want you to feel comfortable. That doesn't mean that you have to be a rag doll, all right? That you don't have some discipline within your body, but you're not pushing yourself over the edge, over the line. When you're in a yoga class where you have the physical instructor and the students together, oftentimes the instructor will say, find out where your edge is. Come to that edge, maybe just look over the precipice and then withdraw. Don't go beyond that. Don't fall off that cliff where you're going to be injured. All right, all that being said, I'm just checking off here. I'm looking to my side here because I got this, I don't want to forget some things. We talked about professional tools a little bit, about the environment and so forth. I think, and we had our moment of silence. So now, in the title for this webinar, we had laughter. And boy, do we need a good laugh. So again, I can talk about the science of yoga and laughter. I recommend you go on and Google that, and you will find more articles than you can read in a day. There are millions of people all over the world now. This is spread like a virus, if I can dare use that term. All over the world, there are classes where people do nothing but laugh. They come together for an hour and they laugh. Sometimes they do a little yoga pose, they might go, okay? That's optional. And I'm talking about the actual physics of laughing. You don't need a comedian. You don't need a joke, all right? And laughter is contagious. And when it's done in a group setting, as we're about to do, and this is an experiment, I've never done Zoom laughing. Well, I did with the board of directors for the Comfort Alliance, the Comfort Resolution Alliance. But other than that, not with 40 people or whoever many people we have here today. So I'm going to do it, Lou and I are going to do a demo from our chairs, okay? And you'll get the idea. I'm going to take my glasses off here so I don't freak anybody out.
Tom, before you do, should we unmute for this exercise or should we stay muted?
Unmute. I want to hear everybody. Yeah. All right, so watch us. We're going to inhale through the nose, take a nice, deep, comfortable breath through the nose.
We're able to. Yeah. The host has done
Ah! All right, we're going to try it together now, all right? And we're going to do 2 rounds of that. So we'll do it twice, just to make sure you got it, and then maybe we'll close with that at the end of our session. So here we go. Inhale. Well, Tony, it's contagious. We need to put the world on Zoom and get everybody laughing together. People in the streets, in government. I'm telling you, they shouldn't open the state legislature without it. Do what's happened? You've brought oxygen into your brain, hormones, you've relaxed your facial muscles. I mean, the benefits go on and on here. A simple act. And you know, scientists have actually recorded the number of times the average adult person actually has a good laugh during the day. 7 times out of 24 hours. There's something wrong with that. Kids, right? One of the reasons we like to be around children, especially when they're under 10 years old, is to hear that sound of laughter, because it's contagious and makes you feel good. All right.
How about one more time, Tom?
One more time. All right. I love it. In fact, maybe we should do that for an hour and forget everything else. All right, here we go. But inhale. Since you brought that up, I'm gonna add one other feature to it to make us really crack up. I'm gonna add an actual asana pose to this exercise. It's called lion pose. So I'm gonna add something to it, all right? Watch it first. All right. Right. So when your mate comes home tonight or wherever, just give him a blast and see what happens. All right. So let's start some actual. Welcome, Jackie Mitchell. Some actual poses here. I'm going to start with a series called arms overhead stretch. Once again, you're going to move away if you're sitting in a chair. So let's say you've been at the computer all day here. This, you know, if you're on the computer for more than a half hour or so, your posture, you lose your posture, you're having low back issues, you're having issues in your wrists, perhaps, if you've been doing this for days and days. Here's a little easy one to remember and to do exercise invented by the woman sitting to my immediate left here, Louisa, who's been my yoga teacher for 45 years. Take your right hand and take a hold of the fingers of your left hand above the knuckles, because we want to get a good stretch in for the fingers. Take the hands behind the head. Now, as you inhale through the nose, remember on all the poses, you're coordinating the movements with your breath. And you'll get better at doing this. But if you can keep that consciousness, that'll be very helpful. So you're going to inhale. Now think that you're hanging from a bar here. So bring the arms up. You still have the hands clasped. Remember, we're getting a stretch. Not in a wrestler's grip. If you can you see my hands here?
Both palms are facing forward. Palms facing forward, and then reach across and take your left hand.
Right, so see if you can do that. So you're reaching for the fingers of the left hand with the right. The palms are facing up. You're inhaling up. Hold the breath for a second or two. Now, if you can move in this position, if you can move the arms back, even if it's a half inch, you'll feel some stimulation in the shoulders, in the scapular area, in your trapezoids, the muscles of the upper arms. Now, if you're having difficulty with that, who's going to hold the pose? Having a belt or a cord, okay, this time I'm coming around the cord and getting a grip here with the cord. This is the modification. This is fine. I'm pulling to the sides and I'm taking this back slightly. Remember, position comfortably held. Relax your facial muscles. Relax your mandibular jawbone. Relax your lips, your scalp muscles. Now inhale again. As you exhale now, the arms are coming behind. Take the arms, hold on to what you have. Take the arms behind. Good, good. So you're holding here. Inhale. Exhale. Right elbow up, left down. Doesn't matter which elbow goes up or down. Move, keeping the arms behind without moving the upper body. Just the arms are moving. You're isolating the upper body is not moving. You're isolating the muscles in the arms. And then as you exhale to the opposite side, okay, I see some of you, those who I can see are doing this with your lips. That's you. Relax. Take it back to the middle. Inhale. Exhale. Release. Absorb for a few seconds what you're feeling in your body. Now remember, you can, it's tension versus compression here. You want the tension, but not the compression. Okay, now we're going to go to the other side. Asana practice, asana are, how should I put this? Asana is a, how do I call it? Anyway, it recognizes both sides of the body. So whatever we do on one side, we're gonna do on the other side, right? So now take the, let's see, the left took the right. Now we're gonna have the right taking the left. So whatever your opposite hand is. I'm not sure. So whatever your opposite hand is, once again.
Wait. Start with your palms facing outward like this. Yeah, there you go, there you go. Now reach across and grab a hold of your hand with the other hand. No, don't turn your hand, keep it just like this.
Yeah, this is frustrating to do this on Zoom.
Both palms facing, right? And just come across and grab the other hand. No, don't turn, yeah, let me see your, lift a little higher. Like that.
Okay, palms are facing away. Your opposite hand.
There you go, grab a hold of your fingers.
And now take
there
it
you
up.
go.
Inhale up.
There you go.
Ah, perfect.
There you go.
Perfect. Beautiful.
Hold on.
Relax your mouth now. Relax. There you go. Perfect. Remember, interoception. You're learning where you're holding stress in your body as you do these poses. Inhale up. Exhale, take the arm just slightly back. Use a rope or a belt or something if you need it. Relax the head and neck. Now turn the palms down while still holding on to the hands. Inhale. Exhale, all the way down, all the way going to the basement here. And then as you inhale and exhale from side to side. Just the upper body. Be conscious again of that tension in the mouth. All right, now some of you, those who I can't see on the screen, are leaning forward here, okay, while you're doing this. See if you can have a more erect posture. And then for those of you who are comfortable with this, you can make some geometric designs here with the arms in different directions. This is just terrific for the shoulders. You're lifting your sternum up, you're lifting your heart up, you're opening your chest up, you're stretching out the ligaments in your fingers. It's just a great all around. If you remember just one thing from today, if you remember this series, you'll go a long way. It's a great beginning. All right. Now, next, move. If you're on a chair, once again, move a little forward. Don't fall off the chair, but move a little forward so you have some room behind you here. Once again, what you want to do in this particular one, we'll just change it around a little bit, is to come under the legs. And this is where you would use a wrestler's grip, or if you have the flexibility to reach for your wrist, or just hold on to your fingers, or once again, you can bring this cord underneath as well. But if you can, it's most effective if you can interlock your fingers here. Now, once again, you're going to inhale. And as you exhale, you're collapsing your chest here. You're bringing your belly button towards your spinal column, your chin towards your chest. And you're creating some tension here, comfortable tension. It should feel good to you. You should be thinking in your mind when you do these postures, why didn't I think about doing this earlier? This feels so good. Inhale. Now as you exhale, slowly coming up, and you're gonna lower the shoulders here, and just, if you can comfortably take the head back with a relaxed mouth and facial muscles. Just raising the chin up. Inhale. Exhale, repeat now. All right, you're coming down, chin is coming down towards the chest, towards the sternum. Belly button is going back towards the spinal column. You're creating some tension. You're holding on to those fingers or rope or whatever. And once again, as you inhale, slowly coming up. And release. Get into the habit as you complete a series of movements to digest the movements. Feel what's going on in your body. Again, you want to develop that interoceptive sense of where the stress is in the body that needs to be released. And that will also prompt you as to what the next exercise should or shouldn't be. All right, I see that our time is flying here. So let's add something for the lower back, all right? So watch the demo. I'm gonna twist to the right. So once again, I'm aware of my breath. I'm gonna inhale. And as I exhale now, if I'm gonna put my left hand on the outside of my right knee, I'm gonna come behind with my right hand and arm, grab the chair in some fashion. If the chair has a back, grab the back, otherwise the bottom of the chair. If you were in a yoga class on a mat, you'd have your arm behind you, stationary. And then I'm gonna inhale, keeping my chin level and my shoulders level as I exhale. I'm gonna gently twist all the way over to the right side of my body. Again, tension, not compression. Inhale. Slowly releasing as you exhale. Come out of these positions slowly. This is not the LA freeway that we're on here. We're looking to slow things down. These postures will help you to slow things down in your life and enjoy that space. And we're going to go to the opposite side now. You're keeping both of your hips on the chair, all right, as best you can. That's your anchor. And again, you're going to inhale. And then as you exhale, turning all the way to the left side, shoulders as level as possible. Releasing the stress in your mouth, in your lips, in your tongue, in your mandibular jawbone. Keeping the chin level. Eyes closed. Inhaling and exhaling comfortably through the nose. Inhale. And slowly as you exhale, releasing. Coming forward. Just close your eyes for a few seconds, absorb what we did. See if you can imprint this exercise in your mind so that you can do it on your own. Okay, again, we're running out of time, so I'm doing my best to show you things that you can do in a chair. We don't have enough time now to get up and go behind. How are we doing on time, Jose and Ann? Jose?
We are okay, Tom.
How much more time do I have?
We have about 10, 15 minutes roughly.
Oh, okay. All right. Good. All right. That's better than what I thought. Let's do something now for the head and neck. Tremendous amount of tension is absorbed here into the trapezoidal, deltoid muscles in the shoulders. And we need a quick and easy way to help relieve that pressure. So I want you to interlock your fingers, like so, with the palms facing you. And then take the arms behind and put it towards the top of your head. Back of the skull. In the back of the skull here. Now, as you inhale, you're going to open the arms up, elbows to the sides. Chest is going to expand and create a little dynamic between the interlocked fingers and the back of your skull here. You can put as much pressure as long as it's reasonably comfortable to you as you like here. So this is isometric in nature. Isometric is where the muscles are held in a single position. Now as you exhale, bring the elbows together and lower the chin gently towards the sternum, towards the chest. Let the weight of the arms put some tension in the back of the neck. Again, we're developing that interoceptive sense. Where is that edge between comfort and discomfort, between enjoyment and potential injury? Inhale, the arms are going to come open. Once again. And exhale, elbows together, chin towards the sternum. Weight of the arms forming some tension, especially in the low part of the neck. Inhale, slowly opening. Exhale, bring the palms together to Namaste position and slowly releasing. Jose or Ann, can you show me, one of you, it's good for me to see somebody doing this, because all I'm seeing right now is myself up and Lou in the corner. There you go, all right. Yeah. We see Ann's very pleasant face, I must say. Okay. So, since we have a little bit more time, let's get out of the chair. So now let's say you're at your desk at the office, whether it's at home or someplace else, and you need to get up and move the legs around a little bit, okay? So I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna move this chair out of the way a little bit behind. Maybe we need to go back. Can you see us back here? First I'm going to do this. So I'd like you to turn your feet out with the legs spread akimbo. Now bend down and put your palms on top of your knees, more towards the inside of the knees. And then let your shoulders come up to your ears here. See how that feels. So you're putting some tension on the inside. You're feeling your adductor muscles on the inside of the legs working here. It's a nice stretch for them. You're breathing comfortably in and out through your nose. Now inhale through the nose. And slowly as you exhale, bring your right shoulder forward as you look over your left shoulder or in that direction. Doesn't that feel good? Inhale. Slowly to the opposite side now. Take your time. So the left shoulder's coming forward. And you're looking over the right shoulder. Inhale forward. Exhale up. Bring the feet together into what's called mountain pose, or Tadasana in Sanskrit. Arms to the side. You can separate your feet a few inches just to give you a little wider base. Now, we want to do this safely. This is called sitting in the chair pose. So I'm going to inhale. As I exhale, I'm going to put my hands, for safety purposes, on my knees and lower my butt towards the floor. Now, depending on your flexibility, your level of flexibility, and your comfort level, you can determine how far you want to go down. You can come to your elbows, would be the next position here, and just do this. If this is comfortable for you, if it's a position easily held, take your right arm out, keeping your left elbow on the left knee. Now, are your fingers relaxed? Is your right shoulder up by your ear, or is it relaxed? If this feels comfortable, the full pose is to bring both arms out. And this puts some tension on the low back. So if you feel that this is not a comfort zone for you, then go back to the elbows. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, palms together, and down once again into Namaste. Absorb and release. Now you can also use your chair or a table or your desk, anything that you can hold on to here. I'll show you, I'm going to have Lou demonstrate the full pose without the chair so you can see what this is. Just do a flat back. So this is called a flat back. In this position. And the full position would be with the arms extended. Using the chair. So try that and get the arms extended by slowly inching the feet back. Now your ears are close to your biceps. Now as you inhale, walk your feet in. A few inches. We're going to do a back bend from this position. We're going to do a back bend here. So make sure that the object that you're holding on to, I see Anne has got a firm grip on her chair there. And bring your, keep your wrist straight. Don't collapse the wrist. And then just bring your belly button towards the chair. So this is a modified back bend, okay? A very safe one. Okay, you don't want the shoulders up here. You want the shoulders down and you're just moving forward. You can squeeze your butt muscles to protect the low back in this position. Now for those who don't have a neck injury, who have flexibility in the neck, you can, as Lou has demonstrated, you can take the head back, or you can take it forward, or you can just keep it neutral. You should be feeling this in the low back. If not, you need to adjust maybe by walking your feet in or out, away from the chair or the desk. Slowly as you inhale, coming out of the pose, holding on to the chair. Let's come to a seated position. I want to end with a very simple pranayama exercise that you can do anywhere. You can do it without anybody even noticing you if you work in an office situation, if you're on a bus, any place. You don't have to be in a yoga studio to be doing this. And this is a 3-part breath. The term in Sanskrit, for those of you who are interested, is called Ujjayi. I'm going to demonstrate, or have Lou demonstrate, and I'll talk it to, so it's the inhalation, exhalation. So we're going to inhale, we're going to hold the breath, and then we're going to exhale. I'm recommending 3 to 5 seconds for each one of those segments. If that's too much, if that's not comfortable, then come down 2 seconds, 3 seconds, whatever works for you. But if you can shoot for 3 to 5 and that feels good, by all means. Now you're doing a direct manipulation, a direct massage of the vagus nerve, hugely important in de-stressing. So Lou's going to inhale through the nose. She's going to hold the breath for 3 to 5 seconds. And she's going to exhale. That's called a round. Okay, we're going to do 3 rounds. Notice her posture. She's away from the chair, so her spinae erecti muscles, which help us to have good posture, because when we get old, gravity wants to pull us down here. We got to work to stay up here. Are working. Do some interoception when you're holding the breath. Are you relaxed? What's particularly the facial muscles are a real clue, okay, as to how relaxed you are. So try it on your own, okay? Let's do it. Inhale. Close your eyes. Hold. Exhale. Now repeat on your own. But you just want to stay there and do these breaths forever. This is the easiest, quickest way to decompress. And as you get better with your breath, you would do more rounds, 5 to 8 rounds, which shouldn't take you more than a minute or 2. And then extending the inhalation breath, the holding of the breath, and the exhalation breath. You can moderate that. If 3 to 5 seconds becomes very comfortable and very easy, you can go 5 to 7, or everybody's different here. There's no comparison, there's no better or worse. It's what works for you, what helps you to relax and find a state of well-being. This is what we're shooting for here. Okay, one more breathing exercise. This is called alternate nostril breathing. Probably the most efficient way to immediately get in touch with de-stressing. I'm taking my glasses off because this involves putting my hands on my nose. You can go with either hand. Most of us are right-handed, so do right-handed. You're going to take your 3 middle fingers here and put them on your third eye, right between your eyebrows. You're going to then take your pinky and put it gently on your left nostril. I use the ring, middle finger on the left. Put it 2 fingers. So Lou uses a different combination. If that's not comfortable, you use what? Like this. So she does it a little differently. The whole idea here is to be able to comfortably close and open the nostrils. All right, so you're going to gently push down on that left nostril and close it, keeping the right thumb off of the right nostril. You're going to take a nice deep inhalation breath through the right nostril. So inhale. Hold, close the right nostril off gently. Open the left one and exhale through the left nostril. Squeeze it out. Use your abdominal muscles to help squeeze the air out of your lungs. Now inhale through the left nostril. After taking a full breath, close off the left nostril. Hold for a few seconds. Open the right nostril and exhale through the right nostril. Deep exhalation.
Okay, Scott, how are you?
Okay, we're going to do 3 rounds now. Inhale right. Close off, hold. Exhale left. Hold the breath out. Inhale left. Close the nostril. Open the right. Exhale right. Now on your own, as I continue to talk you through it, alternating right and left, left and right. Relax your right shoulder if that's the hand, the side that you're using, the hand that you're using. Relax the fingers. And then when you're finished on your third, the last of your 3 rounds, just keep the eyes closed. Put the chin level, head up. Bring the hands down to your lap. Breathing normally, keeping the eyes closed. Now doing a check through your body, a de-stressing check. Starting at the top of the head with your mind's eye. Is your scalp muscle relaxed? How about your eyebrow muscles? What about the other facial muscles? Is your mandibular jawbone released and relaxed? Can you bring your lips gently together, just barely touching, and your teeth just slightly apart? You're still holding any tension in your neck, identify it. And direct your mind's eye to bring energy to that part of your body, whether it's your trapezoids or your deltoids or your biceps. And ask the body's cooperation in relaxing and releasing. Working your way down into the chest area. Observing your inhalations and exhalations here in a relaxed way. Can you hear your heart beating? The muscles in your abdominal area relaxed. This is an area of great tension, stress. If they are, can you release, let go? All of your fingers relaxed, your thumbs, arms and biceps. How does that low back feel? Is that lumbar sacrum area relaxed? Direct in the brain, direct those muscles, those ligaments in the low back to relax. What about your glute muscles? Your adductor muscles on the inside of your thighs. Your calves, your ankles. Is there tension in your toes? That classic book of Chinese philosophy, the Tao Te Ching, tells us that the greatest revelation in life is stillness. A mind that's still, a body that's still. Can you identify with that stillness? Can you feel it coursing through your body? You're in a parasympathetic frame of reference. Slowly taking an inhalation breath. And as you exhale, gently opening your eyes. Wish we had more time, but thank you so much, all of you.
Thank you, everybody. And thank you again to all of the sponsors. Tom, first, thank you again, everybody. A nice Zoom thank you and a deep breath for Tom and Lou. We very much appreciate your presence. I just want to thank again Jose for hosting this. Jose, I don't know if you can put your video back on so we can see your shining face again. Thanks for running the meeting, for hosting the meeting. Thank you to all the sponsors, CRA Hawaii, the Mediation Center of the Pacific, the Hawaii State Bar Association ADR section. We appreciate all of you too, all of the peacemaking that all of you do.